Well, when I was first diagnosed, I was very depressed for the first 5 weeks. And then at some point I was given a job opportunity, and that kicked my butt out of bed, and, I persevered. And then I got up every day and I just moved forward. And then, I made friends at work and they helped me out. And that was in the very beginning of my illness, where things were still really active, and finger ulcers everywhere and inflammation. And I was so hot one day and so bothered by my clothing that I had my friend cut the sleeves off my shirt because it was bothering me so much that I couldn't be naked. But I was like, take a scissor and cut it right off. Yeah. And we did. And so I found ways to adapt, and we have to find ways to adapt. And at the time I was living alone. I was just starting out on my own when I was diagnosed. So acceptance, and so many frustrating days of getting home to that apartment and not being able to do things. I learned then very quickly what I could and could not do. Like, I went to make some dinner and I could fill up the pasta pot with water, but then I couldn't open the jar of sauce. Yeah. So lots of curse words, lots of throwing things. Yeah. Found myself a jar opener. Yeah. You adapt, you find ways to persevere. Yeah. Another time I had a bad day at work, went to a liquor store, bought a 6-pack of, wine coolers or something, said to the guy, I'm going to need you to open these and then just put the cap back on. He looked at me really kind of weird. I said, listen, my hands don't work well and I've had a very bad day. So let's just, can we do that? He said, yes, ma'am. Yeah. He just did it. Yeah. I paid for my belongings and I went home and I had a better night. And that was many years ago, but there were, and then over the years, there's been degrees of, losing who I used to be. And I used to be super independent and, whatnot, and now I'm slightly dependent, and then I became more independent. And there's, cycles because I had to ask strangers on the street for help.
I do. Yeah, I do that all the time.
And the humility of that.
Very.
And yet,
very humbling.
Oh, absolutely. And yet finding the good in people that exist everywhere. That,
See, I think that we think that people are worse than they are, and it's just a few that make the whole human race look bad, because you see the news and everything's so negative and so many people are doing so many bad things. But honestly, when I go out into the community and I ask for help, no one's ever been like, no, or like, what's wrong with you?
I've had crotchety people at a supermarket be behind me, and as I'm lifting one item at a time to the belt, they're looking, they're giving me a dirt, and at this point I'm like, listen, I'm gonna be a while. You want to move to the next lane, or you want to help me out?
You gotta be open.
Sometimes people help, sometimes people move on. And you know what? And I've accepted that. Yeah. And so, funny-ish story with my daughter. She had a tantrum. She was 2 years old, and she was flailing on the floor, and I could not pick her up from the floor. Yeah. And she had a little doggy backpack on with a leash, and so I was trying to pick her up, and a passing by gentleman said, oh, what a cute little doggy you have there. I'm like, do you not see her freaking out? I'm like, can you help me? He was like, oh my God, sure, what do you need? I'm like, stand her up. And he picked her up, and I picked her up and cried all the way home, and Scleroderma and motherhood and all sorts of things, but you adapt. Yeah. And then trying all the pots and pans at home, trying stuff, in a baby store. You have to just figure out ways. I don't buy shirts that have buttons.
Mm-hmm. Me neither.
That's not happening.
Yeah. Well, we're different. See, that's why I said, all of us at this table, you can see, I have, my hands are so curled, I can barely do anything. Your fingers are straight. Your fingers are straight, and your hands are totally
swollen.
Yeah, we're all so different. So we're talking about this stuff, but they can do most of that, right?
They can do that. But there still is, the feeling of loss from what used to be, because I can do a lot less than I used to be able to do.
Right, you still have limitations.
My friends used to tease me that I had 2 speeds, that I was fast forward or asleep. Because I was always on the run, always, they could hear me coming down the hallway because I would walk so fast. Yeah. And now I can't do that. And I had a job that I loved, and I had to stop doing it because I had so many finger ulcers that I couldn't continue to type all day. Mm-hmm. I kept having to relearn how to type without whatever finger or fingers were. And then after they healed, then you have to learn how to type again using those fingers.